came together and said we all want to step up.
And then how important was it just getting off to a good start today, especially without Io?
I mean, it's always good getting off to a good start. We just, like I said, we had to come together even more, knowing Iowa was down, just get even more connected together.
Okay, thanks. Scott Ritchie, you're up. And then we'll go Derek Piper. Go ahead, Scott.
And Monte, free throws haven't always been, a guarantee for this team sometimes, but how big was it for Trent, Bello, Jake to all make those there at the end of the game when Trice was just going wild?
Man, I've seen those guys make like 30 to 50 free throws in a row every day. So that's really nothing new. Them just going up, taking their time and just knocking them down.
And kind of a odd moment there in the last second. Just what can you tell us kind of what happened there with between you and the Wisconsin bench?
Man, it is what it is. It happened. We'll leave that alone. Keep it moving.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And then we'll go Derek Piper and then Robert Rosenthal. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, DeMonte, you guys have had some big wins on the road, but just how good did this one feel, knowing the importance with Iowa out and you're, in this stretch run down to the end of the regular season?
It's always good to win on the road. That's where the most challenges come in at, and it just tests us to come and be connected even more.
Coach Underwood's talked a lot about the tough stretch here. This is your third game in 5 days, and also 5 of the last 6 on the road. But he kind of had the mentality of who cares, bring it on. Is that something that you guys have really embraced and you guys have talked about as a team?
Yeah, definitely. Really just on to the next one. Even though we got all away games from here on out, we just gotta come prepared, and we will.
Thanks, Monte.
Okay, Robert, you're up, and then Bret Beherns on deck. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, DeMonte, 10 quick points in the first half. Can you maybe take me through whether you were feeling it in the pregame or, how that carried over into that first half?
I was just being aggressive, taking the shots that I shoot each and every day, just stepping up, knocking them down, and really trying to bring energy to our team.
And can you talk about the locker room message? I'm guessing turnovers were maybe the issue. You guys were shooting 65%, and we're hanging in there. What would you talk about with the turnovers at halftime?
Yeah, we knew what we had to do. We just had to come together, calm down, and just play our game.
Thanks.
Okay, Bret Beherns, you're up, and then we'll go back to Jeremy. Go ahead, Bret.
DeMonte, how important was that start when they went 1 for 15 and you guys were able to defend so well?
That's just us coming out juiced up, ready to go. We never know how to start the game, so we just wanted to show them that we here to play just any other night.
And then how much are you looking forward to just a day off here where you can kind of reset before you get into the final week of the season?
It's kind of like no day off. We still gonna get in and work each and every day like we've been doing the whole year.
Thanks.
Okay, Jeremy Warner, and then Joey Wagner. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, DeMonte, I'm just wondering, what's to say about your team and program that you're 2-0 without Io?
We all fighters. And coach is a fighter too. And he's on us all the time. And we just come together even more and do it for the man to the right and left of us.
Thanks.
Okay, Joey Wagner, and then we'll go Shannon Ryan. Go ahead.
Hey, DeMonte, just given the long stretch here, being without Io, where does this win rank for you personally this season on the road here?
It's always big time to win on the road, especially here in Wisconsin, and back-to-back years. It's always been tough to play here, but yeah, just coming in. It's a special road win for us, and now we got to go prepare for the next one.
What are you seeing out of those 2 freshman guards to have them so successful here without Io?
Oh man, I enjoy watching those guys play and all the questions and stuff that they ask, whether it's veterans or the coaches. They just come in each and every day locked in, and they know mistakes gonna happen. It's college basketball, and you just got to get over it and go to the next one.
Thanks, DeMonte.
Okay, Shannon Ryan, and then Harry. Go ahead, Shannon.
All right. Yeah, DeMonte, I know you didn't want to describe what happened on the technical, but just, are you reflecting on it or thinking there's a lesson to be learned there in a close game and keeping emotions in check, or just what are your kind of feelings on that part of it?
I mean, it's definitely a lesson from it, but I mean, I ain't gonna really speak too much on it. I mean, it happened. I'll learn from it. I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay, Harry, go ahead.
DeMonte, you guys win 7 in a row. You drop one at Michigan State, now 2 straight wins after that. You talked a little bit about toughness earlier, and you're sort of the de facto toughness guy on the team. How important do you think it is for a team to have that, mental toughness and physical toughness in order for them to be successful in the Big Ten?
And that's a key part of it. Just being ready to go and dialed in. And I mean, it gets hard over the course of the years, but you just got to stick to it. And me and Trent be on each other about it, and everybody else gets on each other. So we all be ready to go.
And having been here for 4 years now, what can you say about the evolution in the team's toughness since Brad got here and since this turnaround started? And how big of a part do you think that has played in the turnaround process?
It played big time in the turnaround process because I mean that's one thing Coach Underwood is. He's tough. He's not just going back down like from anybody. As everybody knows that, but still, just following the lead of him and taking pride in that.
Thanks, DeMonte.
Okay, and we'll wrap up with Joey Wagner with a follow-up.
Hey, DeMonte, this win either goes a long way to getting you a double bye, or maybe it already has gotten you a double bye in the Big Ten tournament. Does that mean something to you guys? What's that mean?
I mean, it's always good to get a double bye, but even if we get a single bye, we still gonna be ready and locked in.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, DeMonte. Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Campaign.
Can we mute this in?
Please do.
All right.
Are we expecting another player?
I don't know. All right, Coach. Thanks for joining us. I'll ask media to sign up in the line up in the chat, and then we'll open it with a statement, and then we'll go to questions. So, tell us about it, Coach.
Well, it was
anytime you come to Madison, you're ecstatic to come out with a win, to do it back-to-back years. I'm excited. This was a game that I was ecstatic about our defense. The first half, we were absolutely terrific. I was very happy with it till the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds, to be honest. And I think we had held them to 4 threes at that point. And obviously Dimitri Trice, a terrific player. He's a young man with a lot of charisma, and you know, he got going, and he's hard to guard, but you know, for us to go through what we've been through this week, and to withstand it, it's all on me. The end against the press, we haven't had much practice time. Io DeSumo is most often our inbounder, our trigger guy. We put Curbelo in that situation, and that is all on me. We haven't spent near enough time on that with him in that spot. He's usually a receiver because he gets open so well, and I'll take the hit for those turnovers and that, and obviously something that we'll clean up tomorrow in practice. But to go 10 for 10 down the stretch, free throw line, DeMonte Williams, big step back. Jump shot was huge, but you know, to go through what we've been through this week, to be on the road as much as we've been on the road, the physicality of the Michigan State game, the emotions of senior night, and then to come in here to the Kohl Center, and you know, to be honest, probably a little bit fatigued, a little bit tired. And but to find a way to gut it up, and I could not be prouder of this group of guys and their toughness and their ability to step up, and grit was a big part of it tonight.
All right, we'll start with Robert, and then Bret Beherns, Scott Ritchie, Gavin Good, and so go ahead, Robert.
Coach, can you talk about the technicals right at the end? What the officials told you? Anything you know about that?
They didn't say a word, you know. So it's no big deal. I mean, it was something that we've got to address. I don't know what happened, so I'll look at it on film.
And then in this game, you know, Wisconsin makes their last 7 shots, all the threes from Trice, yet you make your last 5 shots and 10 for 10 free throws at the end. Can you talk about what that does for, you know, the rebound of a team?
Yeah, I mean, you know, good players. That's a veteran team. It's the oldest team in the country. They're mature. They're old. They're, you know, they've been through every battle, every type of game. Trice has been a lead guard on this team for a long time, and you know, that's a terrific player that you know, was doing everything he could to fight to have his team go out the right way. Made hard shots. And I mean, he had one over Jake that was about as well contested as you could have, and you know, they all had a hand up except the first one. And and then for us to go 10 for 10 at the foul line, we executed great out of a timeout. You know, got Kofi the dunk. You know, Curbelo answered with a quick steal after his turnover. You know, again, it was just guys making plays. Was it pretty? It wasn't pretty on either end, but guess what? When you're on the road and you're at the end of February, who gives a dang?
Thanks.
Okay, Bret Beherns, Scott Ritchie on deck. Go ahead, Bret.
Brad, what does it say about your team that you're able to win a game, not only at home, but on the road now without Io?
Well, I think it shows we've got really good players who have a lot of charisma, who have a lot of ability, that have stepped up in adverse situations. And to be very honest, I couldn't be prouder. I mean, they're gritty, they're tough, and you know, it's just another step in what I hope is our culture. And to do it without Io, the best player in college basketball, and have guys step into new roles. You saw the little hiccup tonight, and again, I mentioned with Bello on the out of bounds plays. But man, I mean, come on. I mean, the job he and Adam are doing, and you know, everybody tonight. I'm just proud as anybody could be.
Do you feel like you started a game better than that, and holding them to 1 for 15? How did that set the tone for the rest of the game?
Well, it was huge. I mean, Chin Coleman and O do a great job on the defensive side in terms of the scouting piece, and Gent does a great job on the offensive side. And I thought that there was good balance, but and again, I loved our defense. I loved our game plan. I loved our defense, and guys have to go out and execute that. But we took away their easy stuff. We gave them 2 threes in transition, which I think they had 4 threes and for the game going in the last 2 minutes. And, obviously Trice goes 6 for 6 and in an unusual set of circumstances, but in their actions, we guarded the heck out of them and very pleased with that.
Thanks.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, Gavin Good, and then Steve, you'll follow that. Go ahead, Scott.
Brett, sort of a follow-up to that. We talked with you yesterday, and you said you can't turn it over 18 times against Wisconsin and win on the road, and turnovers 20-something, and do just that defensive effort have to be there with that inconsistency a bit in the first half offensively.
Yeah, I mean, and they just took our ball. I mean, that was give them credit. They had a week to prepare. They did a great job of jumping out really hard and switching. And then 3 or 4 of those come late against the press. But again, you got to find a way, and we'll clean those up. And I think that's a little bit of the challenge with IO out. But we've got to. Carmelo can't. I put him in a bad spot. He had 6 tonight. For as much as he handles the ball, he would have had 3 and had an unbelievable game had I not put him in that spot on the out of bounds.
And then, how much of a difference does DeMonte make when he attacks the basket like he did, either in finishes or he had that really good pass to Kofi there in the first half?
Yeah, we're seeing DeMonte. We see him practice, and we're seeing his whole bag of tricks. And he's a huge part of this team, and his activity today was perfect, and his energy was great, and not just what he did on the offensive side, but on the glass and defensively as well.
Okay, we'll go with Gavin Good and then Steve McGargy. Go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, Brad, kind of following that, it seemed like Adam Miller had a kind of DeMonte-like game today where he's patient at the offensive end and really contributed in a variety of ways. How would you evaluate his performance?
It was great, and he had a really hard matchup. We know Brad Davison is a strong, physical, very smart player. Been around, it seems like, forever, and to put a freshman on him, that's what we were asking a lot. We knew Brad would be aggressive. And he picked up his first foul, and I was trying to protect him a little bit in the first half. I didn't want him to. I knew we would need him down the stretch. I didn't want him to get into serious foul problems guarding him. So I was able to protect him a little bit in the first half, and then he was great in the second half. And we're starting to see a young man bloom and blossom into a really good college basketball player.
Absolutely. And then I'm wondering, it's obviously been so tough to win here historically. Were you kind of warning the guys that Wisconsin was going to put together a run before this thing was over?
It was senior night. I mean, we knew what those emotions were, and that's all we had to mention. And yet, this team's finding a way. They're tough-minded and they're finding a way, and it's not always pretty. And this place has been magical for Wisconsin. It's one of the elite programs in college basketball, and coming here back-to-back years and coming here without IO. Man, I'm a proud head coach right now.
Okay, Steve McGargy and then Derek Piper on deck. Go ahead, Steve.
Just in that regard, y'all had held him to like just a few 3-pointers all day long. What's going through your mind when you see Dimitri Trice kind of heat up that last minute or so? What's going through your mind when one individual player is just getting the team single-handedly back in it like that?
Pretty simple. Just try to guard him. And you literally, I've seen it many times before. And those guys, have an uncanny ability to make really hard shots when the game's on the line, and you really just beg for one miss, and we didn't get it. And one miss changes the whole complexion, the whole flow, the momentum. And you give him a lot of credit, and I'll have to go back and look at the film, see if there was anything really I wanted to do otherwise. But he hit one or two over Kofi, and we cross matched a little bit. So you just got to make sure that you do your job at your end, and we did with our last 5 field goals and our last 10 free throws, and a lot of prayer.
All right, Derek Piper, you're up, and then Jeremy Werner. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Coach, I know we talked a lot about DeMonte shooting, but just to go back to last year, there were 9 straight Big Ten games, didn't even score a point, and now he's one of the most, not the most efficient shooter in the country. Just what do you make of that? And have you seen anything like that before?
No, I haven't. I think there's a ton of confidence. I think there's a ton of his willingness to step up and not be afraid to step up and know that this team needs him. We've seen all of that in practice, and Derek, it was just exuding him to get it out and to do that and not feel anything but confidence. And we didn't have that early. He did so many other things right, and now he's just he's playing terrific. He's playing as an all Big Ten guy right now.
We've heard you say a lot, bring it on, in terms of the challenges of the schedule or just the circumstances here down the stretch. What did you see from the team? Clearly they've embraced that as well, being able to show up today and do it without Io and just with 3 games in 5 days.
It's a life lesson, Derek. I mean, life doesn't always, give you lemonade. Sometimes it gives you lemons, and what you make of them is up to you. And this team has resilience. This team has grit. This team has fight. It's not our fault that, like I said many times, we've been perfect through COVID since August, and it's not our fault that the games got canceled. Were road games, but we're gonna honor those because we're a member of this league, and we're gonna honor those games, and we're not gonna be the teams that pick and choose what we play for whatever. We're going to show up, and this team, I think it's about character, and this team has a ton of it.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Derek, we'll go back to Jeremy Werner and then Matt Stevens. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, just for your program, what is this 2 wins without your lead guy, maybe whether it's life after him or, when he comes back, what's this say about your team and program?
Well, I hope it means we're arriving. I think it's a tribute to our staff, how hard they work to recruit, how hard they work to develop guys. I think it speaks volumes to the players and their willingness and their abilities. And I think then we look at overall, we look at our culture and understand that you can have a lot of good players, but if you don't have the right culture, you're not going to win. And it's man down, and you've got to step up. And as good as Io is, and he's the best player in college basketball, I believe that nobody does more for their team than he does. And for us to step up into that, man, that's a great feeling.
And baseline out of bounds plays have worked really well for you guys. Whose responsibility is that? Why you guys been so successful at it?
We've probably practiced them more. We've got veterans. It's something that we've we've had the baseline line when the full court went in. I've had that one in the bag. We put the step out play in. A couple of those were things we ran at Oklahoma State and SFA, and we'll just change it, stuff that fits our personality. It's one of the things I think you can be really creative with because you got 94 feet. And so, Gentry and I and Jeff all talk and haggle over those things, and those guys do a great job, and they're very creative, and it's fun to try to execute those and see them work.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, we'll go Matt Stevens and then Joey Wagner. Go ahead, Matt.
Brad, you've talked about scouting report errors early in the year, but with so little preparation time during this stretch, are you impressed with the guys being able to, be able to process a scouting report and play the kind of defense that you've seen from them, at least in these last couple of games with less than 30 hours to prepare?
For the most part, yes, very. And we've had more lengthy film sessions. It's probably been much more mental scout than the physical part. I still like the physical. I like the guys to feel that, certain action and to actually see it. But that's where the growth has been for Curbelo and for Adam and Coleman is understanding the importance of all those things.
And defensively, it was a very underlying thing for you to watch Kofi, go out and cover the 3-ball like he did. I think, there wasn't Reavers or Potter really didn't get going like they wanted him to. And I think you were right. They were 4 of 25 from 3 tonight, like at one point. So it really seemed like your bigs really got out there and got a hand in the face.
Yeah. And that's the back end of that is the rebounding job that our guards did. I'm proud of our guards because when you draw Kofi away from that rim like that, somebody's got to go rebound the basketball. And other than the first half on three occasions, we ran in and the ball bounced over us. And, we have a saying, long shots equal long rebounds. And, we knew that's what they wanted to do. Over 40% of their field goal attempts come from 3. And Potter's been great of late shooting the basketball. They shoot 40% at home. So why not shoot 3s? I would too if I shot that percentage. So, they're I'm proud of this group of guys because they handled that from a scout perspective.
Okay, and then Joey Wagner. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad, given the circumstances, the schedule, I think you guys may have even clinched a double bye in the Big Ten tournament or are very, very close to doing so. And being on the road, where does this one rank this year for you in terms of getting it done?
I'm really proud of the last 2. I mean, this one's on the road. I don't even, what day is it? It's Saturday, Thursday. Thursday was a hard day. And man, I couldn't wait to get to bed that night. I was exhausted. And even though it was a home game, but you throw in this week, you throw in the Tuesday night, the physicality, the emotion of that game. We lost. Fly home, deal with all of everything that went on with IO and the unknowns and all of that situation. And then you get ready for a senior day. And I told you guys I don't like senior days because of the emotion that it causes and stirs in me and your team. And all the while you're trying to prepare. And then now it's, you're without IO, you're without IO and you're going on the road to a place against a great team, a top 25 team. It's been an emotional week and it's been a hard week. And so these 2 games, I'm not going to lie, they're right up there in terms of being so excited and so proud of what we're building and what we're elevating our program to, and I'm excited for that.
And for your guys to respond to that challenge and to harness those emotions in the way that they have, what's that say about, probably led with the seniors, but everyone down all the way, what's that say about them?
Well, you guys probably know them better than anybody else out there. And we got unbelievable guys. These are unbelievable character guys. We got great personality. We laugh. We have fun. It's the end of February. We're in the middle of the grind, and our shoot around. We got up at 10 till 6 this morning, and so we could go test. We had our shoot around. We got the blood flowing and moving. And it was laughter. It was fun. And here we are at the end of February, and that's so much fun as a coach to see our guys enjoying that moment. And we got good people, man. We got great human beings.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll wrap up today with Harry. Go ahead, Harry Fiegel.
Hey, Coach, you kind of touched on it a little bit with your last answer, but you've mentioned in the past just being able to soak it all in and kind of look at the bigger picture of the season and how it's going. Do you think that everything that's gone on in the past few days and all the emotion and all the stuff that you guys have been dealing with, do you think that makes it a little bit harder to kind of soak it all in and step back? And do you think maybe that now is a more important time than ever to have the team be able to put it in perspective and look back and see where you guys have come from?
Foot on the accelerator, push that son of a gun through the floorboard. That's our mentality. We'll deal with all that other thinking about it stuff later. We're in, I guess it's going to be March now. We're in March. And so it is full speed ahead, and we'll deal with all the emotional stuff whenever that time is right, and look back on it. But I'm proud as heck, and it hasn't been easy, and it has been a challenging week, but we don't have time to reflect now.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Coach, we'll stick the accelerator to the floor on the bus to the airport, and we'll see you next week. Have a
Thank
safe.
you.
Thanks, everybody.